Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Green Black Depths. This is a deck that's been doing really well on the stream, and I believe we are currently 3-2, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 5-0, which is pretty cool. Hey Nick. Nick, you have donated enough to the stream. Code Dukes is more than enough, but a huge thank you. I like that the your message should pop up. Interesting. I have chat in a different area, so just testing out. That's really interesting that chat does not show. Let me quickly. That's why. There we go. Yeah, this deck has been phenomenal. Obviously, Green White Depths in the past, say, period of 6 months has been doing really well in a challenge perspective on leagues going 5-0. The backup plan of the Green Suns package with Knight of the Reliquary has been pretty awesome. But Urza's Saga has really given Green Black Depths another way of attacking. Whereas, you know, in past metagames where Dark Depths has been dealt with or surgicaled, Green Black Depths is kind of left lingering. Urza's Saga, on the other hand, is a really nice way to attack the format. It is a way that most decks are ready for these days because of how powerful it is in the format. But for this deck, it's phenomenal. It makes other opponents... it makes your opponent use resources on Saga that usually are going towards the Dark Depths combos. So if you're making them deal with the tokens, with things like Retrofit of Foundry, then your Hex Mages, your Dark Depths are usually going to stay intact, which is really nice. The only big change that I made so far is going down to 3 needle from 4. I find that in testing, the 3 should be fine. The main counterpoints here are looking at, or the main targets we're looking for are Wasteland, Caracas, and then anything pesky. Hey D-Pizzle, welcome. Yeah, these decks are sweet because they go so fast as well, which is really nice. From a content perspective, from a win perspective, humble brag, but there are also some pretty crushing losses. So we'll take those as they go. But I've been loving it. I like the trophies in the main. I am trying out, yeah, 1 less needle for 1 more loam. And my kind of reasoning there is that we have 1 less needle for Wasteland, but we have an additional way to turn on the graveyard as a resource to get back those lands that are wastelanded. So that should be pretty fun. And then to the sideboard, pretty much the same. I've gone for more hand disruption against combo. We have an Abrupt Decay for some of these mentor decks that are popping up, and just other situations where I want the uncounterability. Against Blue-Red Delver, we already have a pretty fantastic matchup, but it is nice to have it as a removal spell. And against any Ensnaring Bridge decks that play Chalice on 2, that can really shut us out if Trophy is our only way to get through a bridge. So having the Decay, I think, is better than 3rd Trophy. There aren't too many things that Decay doesn't hit that Trophy does. What you're looking at are opposing Wastelands, Caracas, Planeswalkers like Jace. Not a whole lot, so I think the Decay in the sideboard should be fine. I was going to play a Fatal Push because it's just turn 1 interaction, but again, doesn't hit bridge, which I have been seeing in a few sort of Curses decks, a few Karn decks. I just want to make sure I have an answer to it. So in this build, we are playing the 2 main deck Assassin's Trophies as interaction, where I was kind of playing those extra Inquisitions as Thoughtseize 5-6 in the main deck. But I think the trophies are just better at giving us little outs to those sort of niche cards in game 1. So not too much of a deck building consideration. The last card is Paradox Outcome, Paradox Zone, sorry, which has been pretty cool. Nick, too kind. Okay, I will definitely take note of that, but very cool that sponsor mtgmate.com.au, which is an Australian online Magic the Gathering seller, is giving away a little 100. 100 is a realistic number. Streams recently have been really good, especially these night ones, picking up those in Europe. But I am sure that we can somehow put together a little giveaway for those living in Australia who are watching the stream, which is nice. So, too kind. Too kind. I love your work. Nick has been a huge supporter of me since day 1, which is really nice. And has even helped me through some times of unemployment with work at MTG Mate, which is really nice. Love working there. Great people. Great officers, which is nice. Just gonna keep the ball rolling. 50 at 50? Okay, nice. 50 at 50 sounds really cool. We are doing a Legacy League with play points, Saga Depths. Nice. As well? Okay. We're streaming. We are no longer doing Legacy Practice. We're doing Legacy Leagues. Both the 50 and the 100. Too kind. Too kind. I've got to note that down. And find a pen. Would be nice to be able to find an MTG Mate pen. Don't know if those are around yet, but all right. 50 and 100. Too good. Account emails. Nice. That is very easy. Hey Shade, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I did make some small adjustments. I do like Mapson's thought on not needing the 4th Pithy Needle, so I've gone with a second copy of Life from the Loam in the main deck. And then I changed the sideboard around to no longer have a graveyard hate piece through Urza's Saga. And in that spot, I've just run an Abrupt Decay because I wanted to have another removal spell for things like Mentor against these Jeskai decks, and also Back to Basics. Ensnaring Bridge, the big one that I've actually run into a lot, which doesn't really seem like I should be, but Ensnaring Bridge has been a bit of an issue, so that's probably the biggest one. Hey Rule, welcome. Breakfast Entertainment, very nice. Dark Depths and Cereal. I feel like there is something there, like oh, you jumped on Cage. Cage is interesting, especially because you can tutor for it. It doesn't really stop us. We aren't playing Green Suns. We aren't playing any way to get creatures back from the graveyard. Yeah, Cage is actually quite nice. Also quite good against like elves. All right, on the play, which is great. And we have the combo, but it is very slow. Because we can play land, and then we can go for Yavimaya, Dark Depths, Thespian Stage. And we have Ghost Quarter for Wasteland or Karakas, which is pretty interesting, but what is this? This is a turn 4 win with Ghost Quarter backup. No, we'd have to play the Ghost Quarter after we combo off, so that would be a turn 5 win. I'm going to keep this as a little in the blind. I'm quickly going to have a look at my opponent as well. All right. Looks like they've been playing some Grixis Tempo, which is very interesting. Ah, okay. They've been playing... Okay. Okay, they're playing like a Ragavan deck with Baleful Strix, which is pretty interesting. Hey, Magic. Welcome. Yeah, I think it's a little bit rough. I guess we do have Crop Rotation for Karakas, which is kind of nice. It does seem a bit weird. I am going to mulligan it. The deck does mulligan pretty well, and this is pretty fantastic. We don't have a black source. Sorry, a green source, but we do have crops. I'm definitely keeping this. It's a case of second crop or second Hexmage. And here I don't mind. Probably second crop. Yeah, turn 1 Needle and Wasteland, turn 2 Hexmage. I guess if we draw into a green source, we can turn 1 Urborg Pithy Needle, play green source Hexmage. We could also play it a turn slower to make sure the Hexmage has a target. I think it is second crop. I don't want to play the Urza just yet either, because I don't want to lose it as a land, and there's a world where I don't draw into the second mana to actually get the token straight away. So I think just Urborg into Needle will be okay. But hope you're all doing well. We are playing one map. Yeah, I still think map is okay. There's been a lot of situations where it's been like the card that I've wanted, and I've just had the mana to play it, crack it, get the land I want, play the land I want, which is pretty nice. You should be able to see my deck list in the Cardboard Live functionality over here. Looks like the back of cards. Could go Saga for early map, but I do, because it goes 1 and then 2 straight away. So I'd rather try to play it a turn behind so I get that extra value off it. Why we're not just playing lands? Could definitely play lands. It's a lot grindier. I find this is a really nice deck just to try to churn through a few leagues pretty quickly. This deck also relies a lot less on the graveyard and your enchantments, such as Exploration, Valakut Exploration. I'm going to run out a Hexmage here. I do run it into like Fatal Push or other removal, but pretty happy to get some sort of pressure going, and having a backup is quite nice. Brainstorm. Any land off the top would be a great start, because there is a world where we could just win this game with the Saga. Especially with Needle, the artifact we find as well, our constructs will be 4/4s. I probably could also just think that maybe, you know, we're on some sort of deck. Okay, well, Stage is pretty nice. Where we, yeah, might have like a Spirit Guide kind of build. There are interactions here. We can reset Saga, which is pretty nice. And I actually might want to do that. If this game goes long, or if this is a setup that I like. I'm just not sure on the ruling, and I'd actually love to see if anyone in chat knows this, is can I let it go to 3 and then remove the counters, but then still be able to search? I can also copy it with Stage if I wanted to. So there's a few things here we can do. Hey Shade, thanks for the follow. Another Brainstorm. Ooh, if it's Doomsday? Okay. I think if it's Doomsday, I just want to make a dude, get a 3/3, untap, draw it for turn, and then see what I want to do. Could potentially Needle on Street Wraith. The other play is to get a... if we draw a green source, we can get Ghost Quarter, which can take them... It probably takes them off a green source, because I don't believe they would keep a land in their 5. One Street Wraith, just the one Street Wraith, one Edge of Autumn. Oh, they might just be going for it here, which is pretty tough. Nice. Draw into pedal. Nice. Tough. All right. Doomsday. I'm looking at Inquisition, and I'm looking at Endurance, and I don't mind Choke. Sometimes Choke is just better than a card already in the deck. I don't want the Foundry. I don't really care about the Caracas. I don't mind Moxen just to really be fast. Map's a little bit too slow. Trophies are interesting. I don't mind trophies going and hitting lands, a little bit like what Newton does on Elves against Doomsday. Loams can also come out. Yeah, Shadow Spear isn't great either. I think Choke is just better because it actually has some ability to have an impact on what my opponent can do. I think this is fine. But Doomsday is going to be a tough one. A little bit better than green-white because we have access to hand disruption, but sadly I think this hand's just a bit too slow. Doesn't really have anything going for it. And we have some pretty good mulligans here, so this is definitely not the mulligan I want, even though it has endurance. Yikes. Okay. Keep 3 cards on bottom. Second Dark Depths. Probably Saga. I think we just keep the combo plus Thoughtseize. Would be really nice if this was a an Urborg. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Dark Depths Hexmage. The big question is Thespian Stage. I think it's actually Stage because we have the Hexmage. So it might just be dropping the Saga here. Yeah. A little bit tough. Opponent kept 7. Force is okay. I guess we can draw Crop Rotation here. Crop Rotate into Urborg, into Dark Depths, play Doomsday. I'll play Dark Depths, but tough. Force with Dome on Doomsday is pretty hard to beat. Just gonna update that score. Yeah, really nice hand from opponent. Doomsday can be a very quick deck. Especially if you just have like an extra mana here as well, you could just go off. I think my best draw might just be Ghost Quarter if I do get a draw. Tough. We did put in discard. Hey Sunset, a huge thank you for the Prime sub. Let me know where you're from, what you play. A huge thank you. What are the pros of this deck in comparison to lands? I would say it's faster. That's a big one. It also doesn't rely on the graveyard as much, if at all. It does play 2 Loams, but those are kind of flex and not really a main part of the deck. It's mainly just like a bit of a contingency plan. Hey Vegeta, so good to see you in chat, as usual. I feel like Lance as well is a deck where if you make a small mistake, it can really snowball and, you know, cost you the game down the line, which can be pretty tough. Up against Darth on the play. And a pretty nice hand. An interesting hand. Because we can turn one Mox into Thoughtseize and then play the Bog for turn to have double black for Hexmage the following turn. A little bit awkward, but not too bad. Could also potentially Bog pass, but there's a lot of really good cards I can take with Thoughtseize here. Against a Vile deck, can take a Vile. Against like a Green Suns deck, can take a Green Suns. I don't think there's a world where I want to play Bog pass. Opponent goes to 5. Alright, let's start with Mox. Mox resolves, pitch step. Thoughtseize our opponent. Okay. We are looking at Oopsal spells. So my opponent has Chrome Mox currently, but no way to cast anything else. This is actually kind of a tough one. I think it's the Dark Ritual, and then I have the Chrome Mox that I can trophy. And the nice thing about Chrome Mox is that when it enters the battlefield, you then may exile a non-artifact card. So I can actually respond to the exile effect and Assassin's Trophy it, which means I won't be able to tap it for mana, which is cool. So I think here I'm pretty happy to take the Dark Ritual. Play Bog, although Bog's really nice. I think it's better to have the trophy up. Yeah, Bog in hand is pretty awkward, but I think just getting that black mana online is pretty crucial. All right. All right, they do nothing. That's pretty good for us. Another Thoughtseize is pretty interesting, but I don't know if I want to cast it. There is a world where I want to hold up Thespian Stage and then end step copy Bog, and then we have an extra black source for the following turn. Because I feel like we could Thoughtseize, or we could hold up Assassin's Trophy, which takes out the Chrome Mox, which I believe would be their first way of kind of getting going. So I think obviously playing Stage here, but I think that the safest route is actually not Thoughtseizing and just keeping up Trophy. And then we also have the world where they do nothing again, and we get to use Stage to copy Bog. Yeah, Vegeta, this deck is it's really fun. It is really good. This is a pretty big win for us. Get that second black source, or third black source here. Library. Okay, that's pretty nice as well. It allows us to dig a little bit. All right. They hit an Informant. Here, I'm pretty happy to take the... Is there a world where they can go off next turn with one draw? Outside, like if we take the Chrome Mox, what can they draw into to start going off? I don't think they can draw into anything. So I think we're okay playing the library here if we take the Chrome Mox. I'm just seeing if there's a line where we can take the Undercity Informant, leave them with the Chrome Mox, and not lose next turn. I guess Ritual does it because they can Chrome Mox, Balustrade Spy, Ritual, 3 mana, Cabal Ritual, back to 1 mana, up to 4 mana, and then play Balustrade Spy. I could also take the Cabal Ritual, that's very true. that might be it, because then even if they draw into Dark Ritual, they could Chrome Mox Dark Ritual out Undercity Informant, but then we have the trophy for this. They don't have a way to get that 4th mana, so I think taking Ritual here is fine, and then playing Library. Nice. Now we can dig for Dark Depths or Chrome Mox. Okay, well that kind of does it. This is actually really nice because now we can play Mox. Play Hexmage, play Depths for turn, and also hold up Assassin's Trophy, so this Chrome Mox is turned off, which is a really nice hit. Hey B1. Yeah, only came back online about maybe 20 minutes ago, but nice to have you. All right, we definitely want the endurances. I don't mind the Force of Vigors. I like the ley lines. I like the Inquisitions. Slow. Needle's interesting because you can name Spy. Loam's too slow. Library I'm happy to drop. Caracas I'm happy to drop. Map I'm pretty happy to drop. I think this is everything that I want. Just having a quick look. Yeah, I think this is... There is a world where Plague Engineer on like Narcomoeba, Narcomoeba's type does it. But maybe not, because sometimes they play Bridge from Below. So when the Narcomoebas die, they get creatures anyway to sacrifice to Dread Return to get back Thassa's Oracle. So maybe Plague isn't where I want to be. I think this is enough hate, especially with all our main deck stuff. Leyline would be really nice in the opening. We don't have Leyline, but we do have turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Hexmage. But I don't think that's enough. I think I need to mulligan to something more interactive. Especially if my opponent is keeping 7. Yeah. Unfortunately, like in the blind, this is a fantastic hand, but okay. I think this is okay. A little bit tough because there's no real colored mana, but having Endurance or Force. Okay, I think here I'm just going to force this Leyline pitching the crop and then untap. I guess we don't know if we can cast the Thoughtseize yet, which is tough. And maybe I want the Endurance, but at the same time, it's target player. So I think I kind of just have to go for Leyline here. Another Needle. Okay. I think I'm going to name Balustrade Spy. Let's have a quick look. Legacy. I believe it's just called Oops. Yep. It actually isn't Balustrade Spy. It is Undercity Informer. There's a world where crop was okay there because it allows us to crop away a basic forest into a bayou, which allows us to cast the Thoughtseize. Oof, okay. Now we just want either black source or green card to hold up Endurance. Nice. they're playing Spirit Guide and they're playing Veil, they could get away with this, but I don't think that's something I have to worry about. Opponent may be thinking about Force here on these two. Yeah. And they had the Balustrade Spy. Too good. Too good. I think it's just a Spirit Guide here to keep them off any sort of mana. And then just play Needle again on... wait, sorry. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. I think it's the payoff card here in Balustrade Spy. But then play this again on Undercity Informant. Okay. Fun little battle. Oh, perfect. Now we can hold up Endurance as a hard cast. Oh, they're going to go down to 8. I'm not going to cast the Endurance here. That's not how I'm going to win this game. I've got to hold it up. Oh, Hexmage. Can't just yet, but that's okay. It's tough because next turn, even if we draw a black source, am I supposed to play the Hexmage or hold up Endurance? I think it's hold up Endurance. I guess this is also a thing. Just thaw that baby out. Reclaimer. Still not happy with playing Reclaimer here, I don't think. I guess we're now potentially closer to just holding up Endurance as an alternate cost. All right, here we go. Tapped. Saga. Okay. I think we play Hexmage here and then just hold up Endurance alternate cost. Just to really try to close this out as early as next turn. It's pretty much the same thing. Hard cast Endurance or alternate cast. In this situation, I don't really care about not getting the body because we have the 2020 coming. But we know they have Spirit Guide. Oh, they actually drop Spirit Guide, so maybe they have another. But they kind of need a way here to be able to get out these rituals. Wow. That was interesting. Always nice to get up against Oops. But not the way that I thought. A lot less sort of all in on turn 1 and 2. Alright. On the play, which is nice. And an interesting hand. We don't have mana for the Mox. I guess we don't really have mana for the Vampire Hexmage. until we crop. But we do have like Mox Retrofitter Foundry, Pitch the Step, Needle and Wasteland if we really need to. Hey Shade. Go. I'm gonna keep this hand. I'm gonna play Caracas. I'm gonna play the Mox. Pitch Step. Play Caracas. Play Retrofitter Foundry. Because holding up crop rotation here is similar to playing the Needle on Wasteland. Why did you bring in Force in Oops? I think just because it does more than what I'm taking out. And sometimes you can get them by forcing Chrome Mox with the trigger on the stack to discard a card to, or to exile a card to it. But I wouldn't say it's a great card to bring in. It just does more than cards I'm taking out. Yeah, very true. I think Leyline probably should have been a consideration as well, if I knew a little bit more about the matchup. Especially as a hand disruption deck, Leyline seems really nice. Also hitting Endurance, which is pretty good. Shade, were you playing Oops, or is this you right now? Hopefully it's not you right now. Wraith, okay. Oh, you were Oops. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. Oops has some pretty consistent hands, especially with something like Leyline. No, all good. Yeah, I think that Oops has a better matchup against the green-white variant. I think having the hand disruption that we have is really nice. Oh, double Vengevine? Okay, I've definitely got to stop this, so... Crop into Bog, which isn't too bad, because then we also get Hexmage next turn. Could also just draw Dark Depths here. I mean, it definitely happens. Claimer. Interesting. Hexmage doesn't really do anything here. So I think I might as well play the Reclaimer. And then I'm not sure what Needle should name. I believe this will be the deck list that they're on. It could just be LED. I could go after like a land or a Root Waller. It's probably the Basking Root Waller that I care about more because it gives +2/+2. This Root Waller can just be blocked by Hexmage with Firk Strike. Imp's definitely interesting as well. It does mean that it can't get flying, which means it can't block. I think that might be it. I think it might just be playing the board. There is a world where we get hit by Burning Inquiry here and lose the Hexmage, which wouldn't be great. We can choose LED, but it doesn't do anything, unfortunately, as LED is a mana ability. But a card like Phyrexian Revoker does hit. LED. We are just going to 6 here. There's nothing we can do. Next turn I do get a 3/4 Reclaimer if I don't want to play out this Hex Mage, which is nice. Oof. Right on time. You sometimes just draw it up pretty perfectly. Yeah, I don't believe they play anything for this. Having a quick look at their sideboard, they might run like Run Afoul, but it looks like it's really just the Surgicals and maybe try to go after Dark Depths. Yeah, just try to be quicker, which is pretty tough. We have some pretty good cards here. The Plague Engineers are really good against their Root Wallers, being Lizards. Endurance is still solid. I think that's better than Leyline because Leyline doesn't stop the hollow ones, it doesn't stop the madness creatures, it really just stops the Vengevines, which we don't have too much of an issue against. This deck probably isn't playing... any legendary creatures. Yeah, so it's not playing like a Hogak package, so I believe here we can just drop out on the Caracas. I don't mind taking out the Loams either. A little bit too slow. Sylvan Library I could probably see dropping as well to a 1-of. And just playing with this. I don't mind these sort of creatures as interaction. Hand Disruption's always pretty weak as well. Because they empty their hands so fast, it might just be the case of like cutting out LEDs, bringing in an Abrupt Decay because it is interaction. And maybe just a second library. Against the slower starts, it's not too bad. I think this is okay. My only thought is, are there really any threats above 3 that I care about that Inquisition can't take? Hey Ari, welcome. A late Merry Christmas. I hope you and the family are doing well. I think we'll see how this goes. Thoughtseize being able to hit things like Ox or Vengevine and then, you know, Bajuka Bogging them is pretty nice, so... I think this matchup is favored. We're a lot faster, which is nice. Yeah, Sylvan Library can be a massive trap, especially in a deck with Anger, because, you know, damage can really come out of nowhere. So you can't be too greedy with Sylvan Library, but you can use it as a way to kind of extend your hand and look for the combo a little bit earlier. This just isn't a hand that I want to keep. It's a one-lander that, you know, with just Endurance does not do enough. This is a hand that I will keep. It is a little bit slower. I'm actually not too sure what I want to put back either. It doesn't have a green source. But it has turn 1 Thoughtseize, into turn 2 nothing, into turn 3 Plague, which gets rid of any lizards on the field. It also nearly has the combo. This is actually a tough one. No green is pretty big, but the stage can become a green source, but probably not as early as turn 4, because turn 3 we're definitely slamming the Plague Engineer. I could see a world where we just keep this and bottom the Swamp. And then hope within the first 1, 2, 3, 4 turns we draw a land to be able to tap for land, for mana. A little bit risky. A little bit risky. I'm pretty happy to keep this. I think the matchup is just that little bit more in our favor, that we can take a little bit of a dicey hand and be okay. I don't think there's any world where I want to play Reclaimer turn 1 if I draw a green source. I'd rather Thoughtseize, because there's a world where my opponent just does not. Interesting. They're going to try to get a Vengevine into play pretty early on. Okay. Wow. Alright. Well, this is the start they need if they're going to go off quickly. Cool little interaction there as well by discarding the Vengevine to Firestorm. Attacking for 4 this turn. And 0 cards in hand means the Thoughtseize is just dead, which is pretty funny. Needle. Okay. Well. We can hit the Basking to slow that down, but it's not looking great. Just a really nice hand from our opponent. It needs to be... Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't think we have an out to this. It just is too quick. Yeah. Tough. Really nice hand from my opponent. I am going to bring in the Inquisitions over the Thoughtseizes here. The life gain is pretty relevant, but I'm not going to change... there is a world where the ley lines help. Maybe the ley lines are just better than Inquisitions. I mean, they do turn off Vengevine, and they do turn off Faithless Looting Flashback, which in the run, they play rocks as well. Yeah, discard on the play does seem okay. Maybe I will just bring back in 2 Thoughtseize. Libraries can most likely come out. And then we'll bring in the Inquisitions. I don't think there's a world where I Inquisition my opponent and want to take a bigger spell. I think Needles can... I can probably drop out on Needle as well, so maybe like the extra Thoughtseize. Yeah. So close. And a really interesting one, because Urborg Dark Depths Hexmage is a win. Urborg Dark Depths land into Crop Rotation is a win. We have Thoughtseize to slow them down. We don't have any manipulation left in the deck, so we can't actually find things, but there aren't too many dead draws. I guess Endurance we can't cast. This is pretty much a 6 due to the second Dark Depths. And I think that one of my opponent's ways of actually winning this matchup is Burning Inquiry, hit Dark Depths, and then Surgical it, which can be pretty tough. I think there is a better 6. No. Yeah. I guess we drop the Mox in 1 Reclaimer. I don't want the card disadvantage of Mox, I don't think. But it is tough. Reclaimer can hold up Bojuka Bog, which is nice. I think it is this. But this is also interesting. Let's just cancel this, because if we turn 1 Hand Disruption and then turn 2 our play is Elvish Reclaimer, if we don't draw another colored source, we can't Thoughtseize until turn 3, which is when they might just not have a hand. I mean, that turn they lost their 7 cards in their opening. Like, they played it all out. So I could definitely see a world where we go turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Reclaimer, don't draw a second source for Thoughtseize, and then by turn 3 it's just too late. So I think it might just be take Thoughtseize and drop Thoughtseize and Mox, and maybe just try to get there on Reclaimers. And then we have one piece of the combo win stage still. Yikes. I think it's just going to be the Burning Inquiry. Because I can... Inquiry is actually pretty interesting. Like, these Reclaimers aren't, like, game-winning, I don't think. Yeah, I think I might take Looting and then just roll the dice with Burning Inquiry. Would have been pretty fun if we had like Mox into Piercing Needle on Faithless Looting. They're going to Putrid Imp. Okay. That's a bit of a win for us. Sure. Ooh. I think next turn, if we get a next turn, we just play Depths, hold up this, and then trade away the Bayou for Yavimaya, and then just hold up Dark Depths. I think that's our route to victory. So hopefully the Inquiry doesn't hit Dark Depths. Very cool to have over 50 viewers as well, because we have a giveaway at 50 viewers for a $50 voucher to MTG Mate for Australian viewers. So apologies to those overseas, but MTG Mate, who is a sponsor of the channel, has been very nice to us and has given us some giveaways for 50 and 100 viewers, being a $50 gift card at 50 and a $100 gift card at 100. So big thank you for that. All right, here it is. Oh, we do lose it. That's pretty tough. They discarded a hollow one, which is a small win. Yeah, now there's no good blocks. They pump. Got a 12. I think holding up Bog here is better than anything else. It also turns Dark Depths into a it turns Reclaim into a 3/4, which means these can't really attack. I think I'll actually trade in the Bayou for a Yavimaya if we get to do that. I don't think it's worth using the bog just yet, but taking out that anger is pretty interesting as well. And they're just going ham, yeah. And I think here I don't have time to go for like bog and then try to get the combo going again. I just have to hope that Dark Depths is on top. There is a world where like landed a Shadow Spear also isn't bad. Big ouch. I think it's just Foundry Shadow Spear and then hope that this is okay. Yeah, play Spear and Pray. Tough. That Burning Inquiry came back and got us. Hey K-Sound, welcome. Hope you're doing well. All right. Go time. Okay, that is endurance, which is nice. That might be the turning point. That might be the turning point. Because now we have a blocker for the Putrid Imp, we have a blocker for the Basking Root Waller, and if we equip Shadow Spear and attack, we go down to pretty much losing. Like we go up to 5, but then we lose to any sort of haste creature. I think just holding up the endurance here is better. But there is a world where I want to endurance. Let's just have a quick thing, because if we don't endurance in our turn, they can untap, main phase, looting. But if we allow them to loot, they might think that they can put creatures into play and attack with anger in the bin, but of course we can take anger out of the bin. So that's definitely pretty interesting. But maybe there is a world where I should just endurance now. Because they have 1 card in hand, they get to draw a card for turn. I think it is just endurance now. Okay. They will pay. Ooh. Ho, 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 ho. Okay. Okay. They discarded Firestorm. Does this not... Ah, they were so close to being able to just hit us. My only thought is there an out that they have through Firestorm that I'm not seeing? Because my other attack here is attack with Shadow Spear equipped for 4, go to 6, and then equip Shadow Spear to another creature like Endurance. That doesn't lose to Firestorm, but holding up the combo does. Because I have 4 mana, so I can equip this twice. So attack and equip and then leave a creature back like Endurance. This is an instant, okay. Don't lose to Firestorm. Yeah, as an additional cast to discard X cards, X damage. So they need 2 cards. So they untap, draw 1 card, go to 2 cards. They can then flashback looting, draw 2, go to 4, discard, go to 2. And then they need Firestorm and another card. So they actually can't. Yeah, that's very true. So happy here just to hold up the Dark Depths. Discard your hand, then draw 3. Yes. So there is a world, I guess, where Ravager could get there. Oh, hopefully that doesn't matter. I guess, like, Land Vengevine also does it. But I guess Land Vengevine we could still live through with life gain, but maybe that was a thought. No, because then we just don't block the Basking Root Waller. Alright, they're gonna looting. Ooh. Yikes. LED here would do it. No, because I can... Yeah, LED would do it. Rough. I think I should have thought about more lines, perhaps. Because Reclaimer could take out Anger, but I don't think that's relevant here. Interesting. They discarded another Firestorm? This means they can't discard and jump. 2, 4, 6. I guess they couldn't either because they'd have threshold. But this should just do it, right? They don't have an out? Nice. Nick, we did not. We just finished that match. But now we will, because I believe giveaway MTG Mate should work. So if you're wanting to join this giveaway and an Australian viewer, type in MTG Mate into chat and you will go in the running to win a $50 voucher to MTG Mate, which is very cool. And you need to have an account already. But that shouldn't be too hard to set around. Maybe we can work around that. Maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, a huge thank you to Nick for coming in and giving me this giveaway. We have one for $50 at 50 and one for 100 at 100 viewers, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, big thanks to MTG Mate. MTGmate.com.au is an Australian online seller of Magic the Gathering cards. It's a pretty cool site. They have a really good buy list. You can sell your cards, of course. Get 25% bonus for store credit, which is cool. Yeah, have a lot of staples. 7 Point Highlander is obviously pretty big in Australia. Is an Australian-born format, which is an Eternal format, singleton, points list. Very, very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna find another league. And then we can, another game, sorry, and then we can check it out. But a little bit lucky there against Madness, I will say that. But nice to have some thoughts on outs. Maybe there was a world where gaining the life with Shadow Spear was better, because it did give us a little bit more to play around. You know, those hasty creatures coming down off the anger were pretty brutal, and an LED there would have also been a pretty nice out for my opponent to steal that match, if you want to say steal. Oof, but again, Madness, just a yeah, one of those matchups where I feel like Depths is just that little bit faster, which can really help, especially on the mulligans. All right. I'll give the giveaway a little bit more. This hand is pretty sweet. We have the combo up with crop rotation. I think it might be just between Ravenous Panda and Mr. Ari Fuller. I am pretty keen to keep this. Yeah, AU only does limit, but look, we could be there. Look, MTG Mate's going international, let's be honest. Marsh Flats. Badlands. Okay, probably looking at Reanimator here. Yikes. Thoughtseize themselves. Down to 3. Okay. All right. When it gets to my turn, I'm going to close the giveaway. A nice 50-50 for 50. Exactly. They're going to unmask themselves. Interesting. Archons and Grizzles still. That might just be too much. Yeah, I don't really want to discard a card here and show what we're on, so I think we will just mulligan here. Or at least concede. But we have some good cards here. We can take out the Loams, the Shadow Spear, Retrofitter. I don't mind the map. I do like the ley lines. I do like the insurances. I do like the inquisitions. All right, here we go. The winner is Nick Jimmy. Nick, you can't enter yourself. Come on now. What is this? I think I can do it again. There we go. The winner is Ari Fuller. Very nice. Very nice. That would have ended pretty interestingly. That's really weird how it entered you, because I don't think you actually typed in MTG mate. Unless you did it like ages ago. Messenger is fine. Cool. Okay. I think maybe the library's here. There is a world where Force of Vigor is okay against Animate Dead, but that's really it. I mean, I don't mind it, especially if they bring in something like Serenity to answer Leyline in the blind. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Too kind. Too kind. I might take out... Definitely tough. I think we just run this. I'm thinking about Force or Abrupt Decay, but... hopefully this is all good. I think what I'd like to see is a hand without Leyline, but with like Inquisition and Endurance, or Thoughtseize and Endurance, and then try to get them that way without showing Leyline. This is a turn 2 Dark Depths, but I think that might not even be good enough. Yeah. Yikes. Nah. Oh my gosh. Put back probably... It's actually an interesting one. Put back 3, so we keep 4. Because of the ley line, I think we can throw away the Ghost Quarter, definitely. The Mox and the ley line and the Crop. Yeah. And then we can play Leyline. And then play turn 1 Reclaimer. This isn't too bad. Okay, they're going to start digging for something, which is pretty nice for us. This is Exile. Does Krakus have targets in the matchup? The main one is Grizzlebrand. That's pretty interesting. I think here I'm happy to Thoughtseize them first. They hit a Serenity, which is nice. We can take that. Serenity is interesting. So it's an enchantment for 1 and a white. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments that can't be regenerated. So it's a really nice way to get rid of Leyline. Play Krakus and then just attack. They can't disrupt our hand if they don't have anyone. If they don't have one, that's very true. 4 Serenity sideboard? Okay. Needle is pretty nice. There is a world where I just Needle on Grizzlebrand and attack again. I don't think holding up... I could start going towards the combo, but I kind of want to have 3 lands for that. And these little edges do add up. I also have to look out for like rituals in... Okay, well that's pretty awesome. Because now we can hold up, go and get stage. Yeah, I mean, Thoughtseize really acts like 3 cards in a way. So even though we didn't keep the 7, it didn't really have a plan against Reanimator. This 4 kept us in the game, which was really nice. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm just going to submit this again and hope it's okay. Force of Will and for Serenity is definitely interesting, and maybe if I can try to get there. Okay. And let's take out... We're on the draw. It could be like 2 Inquisitions. I don't mind that. We still have a pretty high green rate for Force. Could be like 1 Inquisition, 1 Saga. Would still be at 27 lands, which I think is more than enough for the Mox Diamonds. I wonder if there's any sort of... Ari probably knows this. Have you ever taken out Animate Dead if you're bringing in Serenities? Is that a consideration when sideboarding against decks where you want the Artifact Enchantment Hate in Serenity? Because maybe like bringing in Force of Vigor for Animate Dead is incorrect if they're bringing in Serenities. It should just be that they're playing Serenities and that's why I want it. But to be fair as well, if you have an Animate Dead in play or a Serenity in play, you probably don't want to play either or that turn anyway. We do have Endurance, but that's about it. And it's only a 1-lander, so this hand really isn't doing much. Again, no green source. Mulligan to 4. I think I just have to. Okay. Keep bottom, bottom, bottom. And then at least we have Leyline and then a bit of a plan. I just hope they don't have like land, Lotus Petal, Serenity. Maybe there's a world where it's better to drop the Dark Depths and keep a Mox so we can Assassin's Trophy. Stage. They have 3 cards left. 4 cards. Land, Ritual, Entomb, Exhume. Nothing. Wow. Oh, Hexmage, so close. I think we play Stage here. If we play Dark Depths and draw a land, it's actually better. I mean, okay, so we can play Stage here for the mana, but it isn't really doing anything. If we play Dark Depths here, then we have some really live draws in Crop Rotation, because we can play Stage and then crop away the Bayou for Yawgmoth. If we play the Dark Depths and draw into Yavimaya, we just have it anyway, so I think it is just Depths and Pass. Yeah. It turns on so many more lines. Oh, they find a land. That's kind of scary. They fetch. tough. Maybe the read was to keep him Mox, but then, yeah, it's tough. Oh, this can go to discard? Okay. Trophy also being green for endurance is pretty nice. Force of Vigor. Not good enough. Two hits only takes him back to 19, so there is a world where Dark Depths can get there. It's a very slim one. Especially if they're playing that White Angel, it gives them protection from things like creatures. No, the Archon's okay. Ah, so close. Saga feels really nice. It's a really nice plan B that the deck hasn't really had access to before. Outside of something like green-white depths instead of green-black depths, where you have like a green suns package with neither reliquary. But yeah, it's a bit too fast. And the 2 miles to 4 were pretty aggressive, but they definitely add up, which is tough. Rough. There was a really good version that Matt Vuk put together that played Bob's. You can probably find it on his Twitter. It should be from April. But I believe he recently tweeted about it when Ali was talking about it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Yeah. Shroom, you might like this version. And we are definitely not finishing the stream on a 3-2 or a 2-3, God forbid. So we will be definitely playing another league after this. So much Reanimator. So it was Doomsday. 02. Darth Dog was Oops. The other win was Jund Madness. And then 1-2 Reanimator. Braxis. D&T Depths and Elves. Interesting. Rainbow Depths still is a deck. It's a really good budget deck. I'm pretty happy to see how this goes. I haven't played it in a little while, but I'm sure it is not a bad spot. Not in a bad spot. Mox would be a sweet draw. Bayou's not the worst. I think I'm just going to play Stage into Needle. There's a world where I want to play Bayou, or even use the Catacombs to start getting lands into the bin for Elvish Reclaimer. Could also go Verdant Pass, hold up Crop. I don't mind that. Hey Shroom, thanks for the follow. And Step. Tundra. That is not a card that I want to see. Ugh. Underground Sea, this makes me think this is going to be Doomsday. Could also be Tess, yeah. It's hard to needle something in the blind here. It could be Wishclaw if I want to go that route. If it is Doomsday, that's obviously just sadly not a good one. But Cephalid? Yeah, Cephalid gets eaten by a lot of different things these days, especially with endurance in the format. And it's tough because if I name Street Wraith, they just go for a pile without Street Wraith. So Street Wraith is definitely off the table, which is really the only thing other than Edge of Autumn to name against Doomsday, but then you're back in the same situation. So I don't think this Needle is going to be doing anything against Doomsday, so I think we just look at the next deck, which is most likely Tess. I'm going to name Wishclaw. Look, the thing that this Needle is doing is probably just giving the Saga token +1/+1, if we get to that stage. Could have just cropped there for Dark Depths. Probably best to do. There's no real need not to. Oh, wow. Okay. A very slow Reanimate deck? Probably just name Creature? Yeah. That's a good one. Assassin's Trophy is really the only out here, so not looking too shabby. Just get a free needle and name... I guess we can name Polluter Delta. Yeah, and then just don't play the Urborg. Name Grizzlebrand. And just hope that there's a world where perhaps we could get this off the table by drawing into Assassin's Trophy as a 2-of in the next 2 draw steps. Come on, trophy chat. I need some trophy chat. I just need Assassin's Trophy. That's all I need. Just once. Sadly, I cannot attack. But thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Come on, draw a step. Yeah. Ah, close, but no cigar. Tough. Reanimator? Alright. Inquisition, Leyline, Endurance. That's going to be it. Loams, Shadow Spear, Retrofitter. We do, but because they have protection from us, we don't deal damage. So sadly, we can't equip Shadow Spear to give lifelink and then gain life, unfortunately. Choke's definitely interesting. Maybe it's better than something else in the deck. But that's going to be a tough one. One Saga. If I get Needle with Saga, can they respond to the ETB? No one can, because Needle is a as it enters the battlefield, not when it enters the battlefield. So it's a little bit like activating Vial and then putting in Phyrexian Revoker. They can't respond to you putting in the Revoker because it's already in play. So they don't kind of have priority between the Needle coming into play and you naming something. A little bit like Meddling Mage. I could decay for Animate Dead. I think I'd bring in Force of Vigor first in case they're playing like Serenity or something else. The libraries are probably a little bit too slow. Hey Mono Red, thanks for the follow. Unfortunately, we're not on Mono Red, but I appreciate you. And Ghost Quarter, yeah. I think this is okay. Could also be just like an extra Needle. Yeah, I don't mind that. And we're down to 57. Hey, the all-powerful Daniel. I bet you are all-powerful. Too kind. They could have like, yeah, they could have like a sideboard plan with like mentors and stuff. I might try. I might try it with the 2 chokes. I don't think choke is great because we're trying to be pretty fast and hold up mana, but we'll see how it goes. It is extra green cards for the endurances, which is something. Pretty happy to keep this. I mean, we have turn 1, we have turn 2 Hex Mage with endurance backup. Oddly prefer to watch non-red decks. That's fair enough. I mean, yeah, I get that. I get that. It's tough because if they have like hand disruption into reanimate the angel again, we're back to square one. But I'm not too unhappy to see that. But I'm not going to 6 in case they have like a pedal start. But I feel like this deck is just a slower version of Reanimator. Also, let's check what the Ponder did. It was chose to shuffle, so they're looking for something in particular. That's fine because we still have stage next turn to get there. How is Saga Depths different to different lands decks? So, good one. Let me untap, make my land, and then talk. Let's just play stage and go from here. So, I would say the green black is mostly known as being like the turbo version of Depths, which usually runs things like Elvish Spirit Guide, Not of This World. Really all in on creating a 2020 as early as turn 1 or 2. But this version is nice because it has the backup plan of Urza's Saga. So if your opponent does deal with the 2020 in a more traditional turbo build of green-black, then usually you don't have a great way to win the game after that. You don't really have the creatures to get there. And, you know, relying on just that 2020 is a little bit tough. So here, at least, what we're doing is adding in the Urza Saga deck to not also give us an alternate win condition, but also just allow us to also have a bit more consistency around finding things like Pithing Needle, which are great against Wasteland, Karakas, finding things like Expedition Map, which is fantastic to find the lands we need, and then a few other things, like Shadow Spear, which is pretty cool. I would say Honest Depths is then looking at green-white Depths, which plays white for cards like Another Reliquary. It runs a Green Sun Zenith package. Some versions now are playing Urza Saga as well. Do I want to change anything on the draw? I think I'm pretty happy just running this back. Green-white is a little bit more fairer because you don't have hand disruption. You don't have those like turn 2 wins of like turn 1 Thoughtseize of Urborg, untap, play Dark Depths, play Hexmage. You're really all in on Knight and Elvish Reclaimer getting there. Poor man's lands. I would say, yeah, it's a tough one. Green-white Depths is really fun. It's really good for those who like Maverick at the moment because Maverick is just a crease. Hey, Julian, welcome. This is an interesting one because we're up against what looks to be what's blue, white, black? What color? What do you call that color combination? Esper? Yeah, this is Esper Reanimator. So it is slower. So here we could potentially hold up crop rotation from as early as turn 1. Or we could try to mulligan for Leyline or Endurance. But what this hand allows us to do is interesting because we can go Verdant Catacombs pass. If we have to use crop, we can crop into Bajuka Bog. Otherwise, we can get Bayou into Urborg and play Hexmage, or we can end step crop into... this is actually pretty interesting because then we could yeah, we could turn 1 crop into Dark Depths, untap, play Urborg, play Hexmage, and then we have the trophy for that Angel if that's what we're really thinking of. Boros Borson. Esper Esperson. Nice. They are a slower version of Reanimator, which is making me think about this hand a little bit more than maybe I should. We have seen days from them as well, which is pretty huge, especially against crop rotation. It's pretty feel bad. I am going to mulligan once here. I'm going to try to hit that ley line. And there we go. And this is a pretty nice hand because we also just have like the combo. So definitely keeping this. But the question is, what are we putting back? And I think it is just the forest here. Because if we draw into like an Urborg, that would be best. Because then we can Inquisition turn 1. Okay. Esper. They take the choke. Interesting. And I just wrote choke instead of Reanimator. Alright. Yav. Urborg. Urborg. Oof. Close. Okay, so we can Inquisition here, but it puts us a turn back. Unless we draw into crop rotation for Urborg later on. Which I'm actually pretty happy to do. I do want to see what's going on in their hand. Okay, taking the mentor here is pretty huge. Like Brainstorm is pretty good, but I think mentor just taking them off this is great because we don't have a great plan. I guess we do have like Dark Depths. We could take the Brainstorm here. There's a world where they don't even hit their third land. I think the Mentor for them is just too slow with the hand that we have. So I think Brainstorm here is actually the better take. It also means that Entomb is dead in the hand for a little bit longer. There's Delta. Oh, they drew a Ponder. All right. I hope this works out the way I want it. Because I think the Mentor is just too slow. Duck Depths pass, Mentor pass, Thespian Stage pass, Mentor attack pass, Yavimaya pass, we have Duck Depths. Chose to not shuffle. Saga. Probably still no. Probably just Dark Depths pass. Ooh. Bada bing, bada boom. They still have the Entomb. Do they have a way to reanimate? Ponder tells me no. So long Ponder. We do get a free mana here, so we could draw like Inquisition or Thoughtseize. That'd be pretty nice. Urborg. I don't want to give them double black, so I'm going to play the Yavimaya here. And then just hope. I can only assume we see an end step Entomb. No. I'm definitely going for it. They get punished here if they let us draw crop rotation. Bounce. Okay. Come on now. That's a bit of a joke. Alright, well, we got a plan with the Urza Saga. Oh, we can actually hold up a Jukabog here, so I shouldn't just 6. Bog you. Nice. I think their last card's Mentor. All right. Okay. It's pretty nice. What do I want to name? That's the big thing. I think it is just Grizzlebrand in case they still have Grizzlebrand. I assume it's in the deck. And I think we're about to see a good reason why Saga is just so strong in this deck. Thoughtseize. I think I might just get a map. Well, I guess it's really the only play. And then I can't like get Saga play Saga, so I will at least see what this card is. They're probably just holding up Brazen Burrower here, so it could just be a land. Yeah. This is fine. Nice. Trophy, perfect. Pretty happy to attack first. There's probably a world where I don't even crack the map. Just to keep these constructs going. But at the same time, if I crack map and play Saga this turn, next turn I can create another construct which acts as the artifact we lose anyway. Two cards left. There is a world here as well where I just trophy the Mentor. But I feel like we're in such a good spot that like I have to keep the trophy for something really left field. Like the three cards in their hand being like, you know, put something in the bin, get something out, like a Grizzlebrand. And then have the trophy for that. I think these constructs, yeah, have that played, so pretty nice.